Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Awesome Premier League Lobby 1. I am Lee Demon Smith, and joining me for the next weekend, in fact, is going to be the one and only Boogie. Papa Boogie, how you doing, buddy? The plane is in the air, and it's a decent one to start with, straight across the mid.
Hey, how's it going, Demon? How's it going, everybody? It's been a while. I've been on a bit of a break here. Thanks for warming up here. Indeed, Papa is back at home. Get yourself a copy and look at the good plane. Indeed, you're correct, Demon. It's a good one, and it will be seen. Most of the teams be fairly decently well prepared for this moving grounds. Of course, I think Rogue gonna have to. Well, they're gonna have to do a bit of a long drop there, but they're gonna be fine. They're used to it most of the time, anyway.
Yeah, so let's get everybody familiar with the teams. Obviously, the lobbies do tend to shuffle around a bunch throughout the week. So obviously, we've had a 2-week break effectively from Awesome. So team number 3 is going to be FaZe Clan. You know them, you love them, you've seen them everywhere. They're going Multipower, we know where they're going. Team number 4 is going to be Knights. Team number 5 will be Rogue. 6 will be Vitality. 7 is Diamond Dogs. 8 is TSM. So get your flags out there, TSM fans. 9 is Method. Zut et Nam is number 10. They're still looking for a name, apparently. They're still searching. Alliance is 11. Penta is 12. Digital Chaos is 13. 1 is 14. FC Ispo is 15. LFO is 16. Lumbermill is 17. And the Plumbers are in at number 18.
Yes, they are indeed. That's the teams that are going to be playing it tonight, of course, ladies and gents. And don't forget, for you watching at home, that this is the last chance for these teams to qualify at the finals that are going to be happening this weekend. We're going to be having a streaming bonanza with Awesome starting today. And then, of course, tomorrow, I think there's a stream meet thing. And then Saturday is going to be the first day of finals. Then Sunday, the second day of finals. Now, the finals, they're going to be matched on, they're going to be played on 8 matches. 4 of which are going to happen on Saturday and 4 of which are going to happen on Sunday. And of course, it's going to be 4 of each region as well. So there's going to be EU and NA, and they're split as well. This must be said. It's not going to be a bundled up together kind of type of final. What we wanted to do is give these teams the chances to start with their, with decent ping, because otherwise we would have had some disadvantages, of course, forcing NA to play EU or EU play NA.
Yeah, it's been a while, I guess, since we've done like a proper cross split like that, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I mean, at the start, you think everybody used to do these mixed tournaments, right? That was where it was all happening. But now it's kind of been EU, NA. And even scrim-wise, there's not as much crossover as there used to be from what I'm hearing.
We didn't actually have that much crossover in the scrims in the first place. There usually was a bit of a segregated type of thing. Then at some point, someone tried to bring people together. It didn't work out, and then just scrims kind of just went on their own. They carried on to their own way there. And yeah, it's EU and NA scrims. Of course, these teams will scrim against each other when it's a big LAN event upcoming. They're going to get together in one of the discords, either in the high grounds or in the European scrims one, and they'll create a separate type of scrim just for themselves, so they can prep up, so they can train. Not all of them actually, but most of them actually, some of them in EU, in the Western world, so to speak, they do this type of thing. Now, I'm seeing them already in the chat there, D-Man. I'm seeing some spam there for the viewers' favorite teams, and I must say this, Papa loves the spam, so let it go, let it rip in the chat. Tell me who your favorite team is, who you think is going to be winning tonight and at the weekend, and that's probably who's going to be winning. That's
so, at the moment, we have, it is one of the favorites, TSM, right? NPR, obviously, there was the changes. Vis went full-time streamer. NPR was as the coach, now comes back in. Now he's the actual team leader as well. So they've had about 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, now to gel together. I was watching Break stream, and he was talking about it and said, like, look, guys, this is a work in progress. We've only just sort of moved into this stage. Obviously, they've got a lot of development to go. This is one of the developments. Smack has become like this main scout guy, and this is something they didn't used to do too much before. They always used to kind of move as a unit, be it in 1 or 4 cars. But nowadays they've started to go, they were the original edge circles. Now they're kind of the center circle guys again. And I don't know what's working right and wrong for them at the moment. This seems to be a good tactic for them, though. They're going to get a good position here.
Well, here's the thing. They've been taking their time, and as you called up Smack, Smack is actually the most consistent player in the entirety of the TSM lineup there. He is consistently fragging out, even if it's not, it's not super high, crazy numbers. He's not the top fragger. Of course, that's not his position, that's not his role. But he is very, very good at being consistent and being particularly, I feel like he is a pillar. And from when I talked with the boys, he's like a pillar in the TSM lineup there. He's the one that actually glues them, gels them together nicely. So now NPR coming back into the team, that's actually a good thing because NPR's strategy is more of a tactical approach type of thing. He's very creative. He's very intelligent in his strats, and it was always a clash, as far as well people know this, but there was always a clash between him and Vis. In the lineup of TSM, and now with him on the leading role, it should be easy and interesting enough for him to actually take on the steering wheel and drive around the TSM bus, which has been hitting consistently better, and it's been trucking through nicely in the latest weeks. Let's see if they get up to the max potential, because their max potential is it's pretty staggering. We remember the good old days of TSM when they used to wreck everybody.
Indeed, that was like the early days. But then again, I guess it's like the counter thing, because they were a team of streamers, like one of the first teams to ever be picked up, one of the popular teams. Consequently, if they do bad, they have to face the music. They have to face the fact that they are going to get backlash, and that's what comes with the popularity. Another team that has changed a lot like that has obviously got a popular guy at the head of them, and that is Andy Pyro, very popular streamer becoming. But he has such a change of lineup. But they've actually started to perform, these guys. They've started posting some really good results. If you look back to GLL when we were there 2 weeks ago, they did very well in the final day, in fact.
Absolutely. So Andy actually had a massive role in front of him, left off with just himself in the meta lineup. He had to basically build it up from scratch. And that he did indeed. And he brought in some very good power. It's, you can see something tonight as well. So he brought in very good power. He was very careful with who he was bringing into the team. And he seems to have found himself a good lineup of talented gentlemen. And it still seems, at this moment in time, it still seems like the plays that the old method were doing are still the plays that they're doing right now. Which is to say, they're building up their entire game around Andy's fragging and mechanical skill prowess. And they're known to be a team that, well, they're going to hover around high traffic areas, trying to catch off teams as they try to rotate. Now, that being said, they're also good at rotations as well themselves. But usually, statistically speaking, Andy is the first one to go out. Even if he's such a great fragger, he plays a bit far away from his team. So it's curious to see if tonight, or if going forward, they'll change their playstyle a little bit, because I think it would really benefit them if they stay close to one another, so they get the res on Andy, so he's able to peak more and more, because that's the way they get wins, through kill points.
Yeah, and that was the old style, right? You used to have Energetic Turtle and Leighton basically flanking, peeking, faking everything they could so Andy could get a shot chance. And the thing is, I don't know whether the team's set up that way right now, which is not a bad thing, because it's a team of 4 guys that are actually all very capable of doing their own thing. So we'll see how it develops. It's certainly looking like it's good to begin with here. Zuchtnam coming in and trying to get themselves posted in the building. I wish they'd find a name. I really wish they would. But
This is actually
nearby.
Yeah, they do. Here's the thing. This could be considered, if you look at the overview right here, as Skyline is showing us, it could be considered the same compound. But because of the way this is built, and because of the trees in between and the terrain, this is easily split up by 3 teams, at times even 4. The way this is built, there's no need for any kind of battles on this particular place on the south side of the North Island. Now, on the main island. So this shouldn't be necessarily a battle happening here, of course, but then again, you never know unless Zuchtnam decide to push into their enemies' Alliance, who are on their southwest. This shouldn't be the case, however, at this moment in time, because Alliance are already busy taking some pot shots at Method, as we saw earlier on, who have planted themselves just south of Alliance. Now, teams are starting to come in here, D-Man, and it does look like some teams are still outside, but Mikaz, oopsie, check him out. It does look like that one member of one is caught between a rock and a hard place. And that rock and that hard place, well, it's pretty much digital chaos.
Yeah, digital chaos. They've made Rozhok the home of late. They've been contested a number of times. Remember Dignitas. We'll see tomorrow, in Stream Me, whether they challenge them again. They've challenged them a couple of times. One of those teams that tends to, and no pun intended, one of those teams, they tend to go over Ruins and Watertown, and then the compound just to the west of school, sort of like that little spread. But it looks like Mikaz may well have ventured a little too close to Rozhok here. I don't know whether he's got himself
caught. He's going to be fine.
It looks like they're kind of leaving him be. I don't know whether they suspect him or they're just thinking maybe we're wasting too much time on this.
Yeah, that's a good question. It doesn't look like they were hovering around that area too much, so perhaps they knew that earlier on there was one enemy around that spot. But considering that the blow is coming in, Digital Chaos would much rather prefer to have a good spot on the circle rather than get one kill. So particularly, presumably that could be the reason why they're leaving Mikaz alone at this moment in time. So then again, he could be picked up by his teammates who are now coming in from the backside. Now, let's have a look at the circle here and see teams already positioning themselves. Vitality on the perfect spot. Of course, they've been looting Milt up as they normally do. And again, statistically speaking, when the circle ends on the eastern side, with the particularity of Milta, Vitality usually ends up in the top 5, top 3. They're a very good team at defending their territory. They're not that great at finding new rotations. There's some questionable decisions. Their timing and their pathing sometimes is just a bit off. But they're when the circle is here and they only have to defend, they're really good at doing that.
Yeah, they have had issues. Vitality. They're not the dominant force they used to be. Whether that's because everyone's leveled up, or whether they've had internal issues, or whether they've had
No.
pathing
There's no
issues.
internal
Or
issues in Vitality. They're all a bunch of
I know,
friends.
I
It's
know.
just the fact that everybody else has kind of come in with their own plays, and Vitality have just found it harder and harder to rotate. Basically, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and speaking of rotating, there's a cheeky rotate. Did you notice the knights have actually gone around the back, and they're actually on the cliff? They've come around the back of phase. They've snuck in. There's only two of them. It's just Survivor and Vox. So I don't know where the other two members are. They've gone for a 2-2 split somewhere, clearly, because obviously they tend to loot in and around Lipovka mansion, etc.
Hmm.
Um, Meanwhile, looking at Rogue are actually coming over the bridge. So, okay, so everybody's basically decided, look, it's going to be a north side switch.
Yes, indeed. It does look like Rogue is betting that it will be an outside circle. And of course, they're normally used to coming in a bit later on, but they're not used to having the circle here all the time. So now getting shots coming in from Vitality. They usually know that Vitality will gatekeep this area whenever they have to cross the bridge because Vitality don't have to move at all. And this is the only reason that they really have to look out for. So Vitality actively know that they're going to have Rogue on their hairs on the south side. So they will take some shots, stop Rogue from coming into Milta and potentially become a threat. And with that in mind, we're going to try and pull a backside rotate there. As you can see, they're going to be going on the coastline, which isn't necessarily the best way to be at this moment in time, but at least they'll get themselves in a bit of a safety or a safer-ish kind of compound, unless they do decide to push into towards Penta. I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
I mean, Rogue are a team that have had issues rotating, and I don't really. I assume they were going to post on the edge of the bridge, but I guess they've decided, right, okay, let's keep on going. I mean, the circle shifts. Let's get into a position. This is a decent compound to go into, right? And obviously, we are now on the live server with the new circles, but obviously, these are the competitive circles we're using here, which actually are very similar now,
Yes,
which is what I love.
Yes, that's actually one of the best things that happened, man. I was so chuffed to seeing the update there. It's absolutely insane. You guys got to get a chance to play it on these circles. Well, similar-ish, and you'll find out how it works out. And it's really such a different type of beast altogether. It changes the pace of the game. It should be balancing. It should be, now I'm saying, balancing out the frags throughout the match. So if you want to play an aggressive style, you should be finding frags wherever you go. However, I think they should be customly adjusted a little bit more even for Miramar, which is a different playstyle map.
So let's have a look. Who's got prime position at the moment? We can see the boys from the Diamond Dogs up on the hillside there. I think I saw a vector in the hands of Lux there for a moment. Okay, so we'll see. It has got a vector on his back. So whether that's by choice or whether he's just had a bad loot spree, I don't know. There is obviously 1.5 times AR spawns, which are, you know what? I reckon that's going to become the norm sooner or later. I think that's probably going to be the next thing that will change. But here's the boys moving in. LFO still looking for that org, apparently. Haven't been lucky, but that was a really nice long-range shot there. Who did he catch? Ultra up on the hill. The Diamond Dogs down one down.
Yeah, they're going to have to work out what they got here. They don't necessarily have a chance to pull off any kind of adjustments in this situation. But yeah, it's again, this shouldn't be any kind of a fight that would continue. Of course, if Blade Cito would be able to find any more, then he would be quite happy. But then again, Diamond Dogs, outside of Penta, let's bring this one up. And XL Gaming in So congratulations to former Exile Gaming Core and now Penta Sports. If you're confused watching at home and you're wondering why we call the old lineup of Penta, if you're just joining in, let's say after a while, that's because squad number 7 is now called Diamond Dogs, and the ones that used to be called Exile Gaming are now called Penta. So congratulations for both of these teams, and also congratulations to Grubby and Drainus on top of that for being picked up by Navi, man. Navi, D-Man, you've been in the esports scene for a while. You know that Navi is a team with such a great pedigree.
It's now navi.gg.bet. it's gone away from Nato speak to heavens there. It's like pulled away from this great name to, okay, sponsors and involved again. But yeah. Anyway, but it is a really nice pickup, really nice. Three members of Ruby and one of Vanguard, sort of.
It's a lineup of it's a dream team, really, all the way from the org, which is super old and experimented, and it's a nice org overall. We know it from I know it from the scene of Counter-Strike. On top of that, they got a fantastic lineup. The lads from Grubby are really good at that. Now Drainus as well, an absolute savage when it comes to PUBG, and even to their manager Lara. We actually know Lara ourselves. D-Man, she was our talent manager in ESL. She's a very talented young lady. There's a lot of potential in that roster. I cannot see it perform any bad at all.
No, it's definitely one that's destined to do well in the future. Of course, the future of PUBG is looking very bright at the moment. Lots of events on the horizon coming up. Of course, the GLL finals in just next weekend. Is it next weekend or 2 weeks? I don't know where we're at. 2 weeks. No, next weekend. No, I was right the first time. Okay. So, wow. And there's obviously we've got a massive weekend this weekend, as you mentioned, with the Streamy finals, the auzom finals, everything playing out. Vanguard, where are you going, Mr. Avenger? The man behind Hot Drop GG is hot dropping himself somewhere. The whole team, the plumbers, they're going deep.
The plumbers needs to have a great night tonight. Let's see if they manage to do just that. In the meantime, Avenger takes some damage, and then Shadow blows him out of the car, just flushes him straight up. Here comes another frag as well as Rari takes down Anonymous. This is an interesting battle here. Let's see how it pans out. There's a lot of teams close by to one another here. I'm not too sure where Vitality were firing shots from, but I think they were on the coastline, on the ridge. They were actually quite far away. Okay, this is gonna get hot and spicy here because Farm seems to be the center of this current circle, and a lot of teams are trying to get in there, D-Man.
Oh my word. Mita's getting Method posting up right outside his house. You got one coming up the other side as well. Mita, I think, is he the last man standing for Alliance? He looked like it. It didn't look like too many other members around there. He did manage to get a big hit on Andy, but not take him down. Now, this 3-story building, it's a very good building, but when you're in a 1v4, not the best.
Yeah, not necessarily a good spot for Mita to be in right now. Of course, he's got that burst fire M16. Could be helping him out, but in a duel with the lineup of Method, what can be expected of him? Well, let's see. There's an A that comes in here. Doesn't deal that much of a damage, but still, he's in a doozy, and he manages to put a first aid kit on him after being 1 HP right there. So that could have been where Mita...
He's got to help, though. He's got a bit of help because they can't flank completely around because one are in the building behind them. Right? So they can only come this frontal assault. But 4v1 in the smoke. Let's see if it can work out for them. He's going to line it up. I don't think they're going to go too aggressive. He's just going to smoke the crap out of it and delay them as long as he can.
You're thinking, how long could he be delaying for? How many smokes does he got is basically the question. The name of the game here, and of course, the name of the game after those smokes dissipate are going to be trading. Let's see if that one happens. In the meantime, Yak, as you can see, has taken one of the guys from FC Espoo down. Of course, they're not going to be too worried with that one. Of course, Rez is going to be progress. TSM losing a member as well. Now, Method are waiting for those smokes to dissipate, as we call it, and then they're going to be trying to trade this one off with Meter, as the circle does strangle and potentially would be seeing Meter outside of it if he's still alive at that point in time. But Method have to finish this one off quick, and they kind of know it. In the meantime, Lumbermill versus Vitality are going at it. Trively is going to be getting a frag on Vitality, of course, but still, look at Monkey go. He's waiting to go for the refrags here. Kaint on the lower side will go for the res on Trively.
Yeah, these are two teams that love to siege, love to attack, very aggressive. Kaint will get Trifili back up. He's got to wait, though, because Arok says he's dropped down. He's going to come around the side, but the pre-fire works so well. Kaint takes him down. Now, is he going to get pushed from above? I don't think so. Monkey's going to have to wait this one out with the stairs. He's pushing, you know. He's coming down. Has he got a heal? I don't think. Oh, no, he's going for it. Now he's going for the heal. But Trifili will be back up, and it will be a 2-on-1.
Yes, it will be indeed. Now Monkey is going to be hurt. Of course, he's trying to crouch, shift, And as he goes down, he doesn't have the favorable angle there. Takes some damage, but doesn't get knocked out himself. As the last man standing from Vitality, he has to pull this one off. He has to stay alive for as long as possible. But is pushing in here. It's going to be Kate that pushes in as well and gets the frag with the AK. That is Vitality taken out. And that's unfortunate. It doesn't necessarily go well with what we said with them being able to defend their territory. But that's nothing to take away from them, of course. Lumbermill, as you said it, they're great when it comes to sieging.
Well, that was all happening. We saw Alliance. They did go down. It was a nade from Stab that finished that job off, which means we have these 3 teams packed together. As you mentioned, Vietnam in there alongside one and every time. Got to shout it every time. Just to the west of them, as like you mentioned earlier, Penta have picked up the old boys from Exalt Gaming. They got this really interesting split. Now, I would suggest they group up as a 4 because the circle has very much gone their favor. Whether Udir and co are going to be able to rejoin his team, I don't know. This is going to get very tricky. Okay, Mikas is going to try and blast in. His team are already in there, so he just needs to regroup with them. So he's just going to swerve. Expert, he just lost it. I was about to say, like, some rally work going through the trees there. He's swerving left and right, but he goes down to FC Esports.
It did look so good for a while there. You thought, wow, professional driver, finally somebody that's good at driving in PUBG. That's definitely not me. But yeah, he's in a bit of a hard spot there, of course. But ours is in a bit of a hard spot himself. Getting absolutely pounded with nades, and it does look like there will be a push coming in here from Diamond Dogs. Tommy's going to be the top of the spear, the leading man in this push here. But ours has the side angle. He takes the shots. It's just one that he'll find. Kelvin trades him fast. Tommy now won't get a chance to res, as Mise is on the other side, of course. This FC Espo member is going to be quite happy to get the finish off on these ranks, but he's got 3 enemies up ahead of him. So smartly, he decides to get out of that battle knowing that he doesn't have a leg to stand on. So he'll try to find himself a nice little bit of a white butt. Where he's going, it ain't easy.
Yeah, I mean, he's
oh,
okay,
Lord.
All right, razz me there. No problem. Sure, okay. It looks spectacular. It's like Steve McQueen from The Great Escape right there, trying to just blast it over, and it's not going to work. So he just got blown to smithereens. But this circle shifted pretty heavily. You can see it went right down into the bottom left-hand corner there, and it's caused a lot of problems. Even FaZe have got to adjust. The Knights have got to come in. There's only 2 members of them. Lumbermill, who were having that big fight, they've regrouped. They need to come in as well. I think Vitality are gone, actually. I think we missed it, but I think only Monkey we saw was left. I think he has been taken down, judging by the look of the side there. Here comes APL and alone. He's got a whole of FaZe pushing in on him.
Yeah, only a UMP to deal with at this moment in time. He does want to switch for his other weapon, perhaps in particular. It might make things a little bit easier, but you have to deal with the FaZe clan themselves. But T-Bone TV, yeah, he does shoot at the bombers. He's kind of pushed in between two squads here, which is actually a good thing for him because FaZe might ignore him, might go for the other fight, and that might give him. And that's what they're doing. They're going for a safer spot because they're getting shot from somewhere else as well. In the meantime, Digital Chaos get themselves some good frags, but it's not going to be enough. Look at Lux perform really well here. Diamond Dogs coming out on top, and that's it. With the Vector, he cleans them up. Digital Chaos eliminated. Oh, by the way, today Digital Chaos are playing indeed with Simsy of Doom. If you are curious to know why he is on that lineup there, they've tweeted about it. It is known. He's being perhaps tried out for the team, so to speak. We'll see if it works out for him. Wishing him the best of luck because Simsy is a really nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's expected, right? The team shuffles, it's usually the same after any sort of final, and it's a very early stage. FPS, hell, even CSGO has roster shuffles still after every bloody event, still somewhere. The kill feed went absolutely mental, like you may have noticed. I think we lost about probably 5 to 10 people at once as that circle shifted. That's down to the fact it was such a volatile circle move. Did pull away heavily from the center point, and it's caused a lot of problems for the boys like Hayes here with the Plumbers. He's getting shot at from multiple angles as he tries to blast his way across. FaZe did adjust, you said. They were getting shot from the backside, really. Hayes in the end is going to be able to get in there. I don't think so. Yeah, it's Roger just lighting him up. And the Plumbers go down in 12th.
There you go. The Plumbers got flushed on that particular scenario there. Hayes with his legs up doesn't necessarily have a chance to stay on. But look at this one. It's actually a good circle for Method. What there's not going to be a lot of rotation. The rotations that you see north of Method are probably going to happen towards the eastern side of the circle. That puts them in a very good spot to defend as well, as they have pretty much the only compound left in the next white. Now, APR still alive, manages to escape that fight with FaZe, and now is going to be running for his life, trying to find the safety of the next white from somewhere else. He has the UAZ to work with here, and he's going to get himself some nice loot. No, that UAZ is blown up. Never mind that one. He's just going to get that loot and try and make his way on the back of FaZe, who are now going to have to clear up, it seems, Pentasports, former XL Gaming. APR is going back to where the dirty deed was done by FaZe. Does he want to fight here?
I mean, he can't join
No
his
way.
team, right? There's no way he can cross that big open field. He's going for the fight. He gets the headshot. Manages to get the one down. Can he get the second? Hexetti going to get lined up. That nade, there's bars on that window. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's probably going to be very hard to shove it through there. And the bars do deflect it. He is going to use that to push up there. Where's the rest of his team? They're off to the side at the moment. Here comes Smack. Now they're moving in.
Yes, indeed, that nade might as well go in, and that's going to be a good nade as well if it's cooked properly. It doesn't look, no, they've left that room. It's just going to be Mixie that manages to hide in the next one down. Smack is not going to get his kill, which is an important, very, very important factor because the circle is strangling right now. So this fight will have to happen here. NPR and Smack, the last two remaining members of TSM, are up against three of the FaZe lads here. NPR taking shots inside the house. Fussy is going to get knocked out in the meantime by Break. So there's three guys from TSM right now putting in good shots. Yes, he is north of him. Haxetti as well, getting himself knocked out. It's just going to be Mixie left alive. This duel takes down Rory. Break hasn't been spotted just yet by Mixie, and now he's going to try and make his way outside. He knows there's people under him. He has to prone in and try to wait for the heals. That's his only chance, but he's getting pushed in by Smack and NPR. But look at this one. Someone actually took one of the guys, two guys from TSM were taken down by Mixie. How did this happen here?
I don't know. What? Just what? What just happened?
Literally what? The door was closed.
What just
He was
happened?
healing.
They all just died.
I
And
don't know.
Mexico in the end gets himself lined up. So okay, all right. I don't even know what just happened there. That was just hard to explain how, because they were having such a nice fight, and then it all just went badly wrong for both teams, and suddenly TSM and FaZe are out of it. Okay, we're down to the last 8.
It's not that bad, particularly speaking for both of these teams. They both have good placements so that they can make it in the finals. Of course, FaZe being on the #1 spot as they are normally used to be seen there. But yeah, very, very good moment for them. Now, here comes that push on Method. Not a lot of teams, as we said it, were peaked in on that north side, north of Method. They've much rather went on the eastern side where they thought it would be easier to rotate. But guess what? It's actually more difficult. Now, Chris taking some shots here. It does look like one are in a doozy. I don't know if they're going to escape with their life because Method have a very good spot to stay in right now. But look at Mini taking heavy damage as well from the blow, tanking it, as well as the uncharged close to him. And Arky, they're going to be making it with 3 up, potentially rezzing Dinger Rabs as well.
Yeah, looking. See, that's another big shift to the circle.
Oh, wow. That's
been
rough.
Brutal. And now it goes down the way of the boys from the new team, Penta. And Survivor, who, well, he's surviving, isn't he? The little Geordie keeps himself going, keeps himself alive in there. Rogue, of course, you can see they are going to be the gatekeepers there. They have a team pushing right up towards them, and it's going to be number 12, which is Penta. The boys have to make their way across here somehow, some way. Don't know how it's going to work out for them because they've got to push through. There's another team at the top there, which is the guys from Vietnam. They're going to go kind of in the same place, and poor old Method, who had a great spot for the last 2 games. They had to fight for it. They're going to come blasting in straight at Survivor. He's the only one in this shack. That's where they want to go.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's actually some good shots taken by him, but AT is not going to be able to get taken down just yet. So now he's going to try his hand at attempting a push here. Of course, that smoke blocking off his visibility. It's actually a perfect smoke for Survivor. AT cannot push in this one here. What he can do though is he can use that smoke to try and heal up, and that's what he's going to do. Now that comes that nade. Though Survivor is going to be forced to get out of that one. There, he takes some heavy damage. Now hidden behind the barrels, but AT actually naded himself. That nade did not connect on the inside. He thought the door was open, but it was not, unless. And regardless, of course, Survival still staying up, and Method, well, they're going to be in a difficult spot now. They don't know if Survivor's the last man standing from the Knights, and, well, it is.
Vietnam losing people on the rotate there, getting picked off by Method as they try and make their way across his Penta. They have themselves a decent defilade, actually, so they've got a good spot in the circle, and you can see they're not allowing Vietnam. Mini Fridge Jr. is trying to creep his way in, but they are still way outside the zone, and that is on their backs. Mini Fridge is uncharged, even going to get that heal off, and not too sure. Raz is left in the blue. He's way out on his own, the last member of One Live. Now Andy and Chris going to make their way in. 80 has been knocked. Survivor still doing great in there. He's been holding on, and he just launches the dacier at him. That's not how you take him down in a shack.
Of course, Survivor is going to be safe in this myriad of smokes, but they're going to get pushed in as well. Survivor still staying there. AT has been finally killed, so it's just going to be 3 guys a method trying to play this one here, and one of them is actually quite far away. Stab is going to be trying to make his way close by as well. And Survivor is really good. Well, he's really staying true to his name, isn't he? He's really good at surviving at this moment in time. LFO, just to the south of Method. They're going to be a bit of a spanner thrown in the works of this team here. Well, whoever one comes out alive, I think it's going to be a Method that should come out alive. But nope, never mind. LFO decide to push in. Blade Cheeto starts things off well with a knockout onto Andy.
He tries to push out. He tries to take that moment, but Chris was still there. And Survivor will go down. 5th place for the Knights now. And he will get revived. So we've got LFO all out here with 4 members still on this little ridge line. A really good angle on Method, in fact. But the circle takes such another severe shift. It has not been a central circle today. That is for sure. It's shooting off to the side. And now Penta have themselves plumb center of the circle, but it's a beachhead battle.
Yes, indeed. It will be very, very open. There's some dips that they can work with here, of course. Well, most of the teams, LFO could push into the next dip that is just east of them there. But as they would do that, indeed, you called it out, Penta will be taking him down most likely, as Rogue might also have an angle on him as well. We'll see how it pans out later on. Of course, Penta still in a bit of a battle here with Rogue. Rogue are busy actually at this moment in time with Method having spotted them in that little shack. They're going to try to put in those shots. Blade Tito actually gets himself killed at the hands of Stab. So that's a good start right now for Method to try and make their way inside the next circle. But they have to clear the team that is on their south before they take on the Penta battle. And look at Brexcar actually going back to his teammates. It's much smarter for Penta right now if they play this one a bit slower and let all these teams kill each other. Even if they would be good at proactively trying to defend this circle, the fact that it's so open and the fact that there's 4 teams left alive means that they're going to be dinking down each other while Penta comes out on top here. And oh, that might likely be the case.
And they've already got one. That could land on Ewan.
Uh-oh.
Does he see it? I think no, it fell short. It fell short. Yeah. They need to get the minimum up. They've managed to catch one. That's one around the side. Annie and Chris have been dealt with. Oh, they're taking the reverse approach. Yannick just going to come in, set himself up. That's a really nice play because obviously you're going to jump out the vehicle on the left-hand side, and now it gives them the little bit of cover they need. They're flanking to the right. They want to deal with the last remaining members. They know that LFO are over there. They know that Method are over here somewhere as well, and they are picking the shots perfectly. Rogue are just picking them apart. One member of LFO will go down, and now we're into the last 3, which is really nice for Stab, keeping Method alive in that last 3. But it's Rogue versus Penta. That's the battle, and Stab is just sat there to play spoiler.
That is indeed the name of the game here. We'll see who comes out on top. Rogue, very good to see them perform nicely. They've been slowly picking up the pace, and they've been getting back into those ASM legendary days when we see them, well, pretty much out of their minds. Now, they just have a slight bit of cover. They will spot their enemies to the south, take some shots there, but they know that Stab could be coming in potentially to stab them from the side. So they have to be careful on that angle as well. Stab now taking damage from the blue is going to have to soon get up. Oh no, the circle actually stops. He's going to be safe as he is right now. Yannick and Ewan cannot spot him, so instead they're going to try and defend the spot that they're in. But of course, having to look at the circle, none of the teams are in. That need falls a bit too short. Stab still alive in this battle here, and this might be a good moment for Penta to try and make their push. Stab, what a legend.
He's had about 6 nades thrown at him so far, and none of them are landed. They know exactly where he is. They just can't seem to hit him for somehow. The circle, like you say, it pulls away, it goes to the road, nobody in it now. So everybody's going to have to make the belly crawl. Stab is looking to go aggressive. Not going to work out for him. Will get spotted out by Yannick eventually. Finally decides to get himself up there. Now, Cup of Magic has got a nice little flank position over on the left-hand side. So Rogue, they're going to be looking at the shack, but they've got to be wary that there could be someone to the left. We know there is. Are they going to be aware of it?
Whether they are or not, it does look like they're holding on the right angles here. There is a potential side flank here coming in as well, but Kronix puts in the good shots and takes one down with a car explosion. Nonetheless, another knockout happens as well as Cup of Magic takes another member out of Rogue down. Cup of Magic now coming in with that side flank. That was indeed the play that might have gotten the GG for them, as Yannick now, the last man standing out of Team Rogue. Well, he's soon going to be taken down, of course, by Brexco's nade, which seems to be on point. Yannick as well, with not a lot of HP left on him. He's going to be taking the shots. He will be getting a knockout on himself, but the blue is going to bite him soon, and he only has a sliver of life left, and there it goes. By the play zone, he dies, and it will be the GG and the chicken dinner, of course, for Penta Sports.
10 kills to start for Penta. Not a bad way to go for your new org, is it really? Getting your very first chicken dinner of the day. 3 kills is all Rogue got in the end there. Anticlimactic when they died to the play zone, that's for sure. But Method, look at that. They were involved once again. 10 kills for them, so it's a good third place finish as well. Only the 1 kill for LFO, despite being in 4th place. And the Knights, they started with 2 players, it seems. I was wondering where the 2 went. Maybe we missed it at the start, but looks like they only started with just Voxic and Survivor.
Yep.
Didn't even know that was allowed, but apparently there we go.
It might have been. I'm not too sure if it was necessarily something that's allowed or not. It might have been a bug. Perhaps it disconnected the DC.
Yeah, I never know.
Could have been, yeah, because I think, yeah, they DC, because for as far as I remember, before we started the server, when we were in the lobby,
it was full. Yeah,
it sure looked like it was full, you know. So yeah, it's probably what happened there. But then again, fair play to Voxic and to Survivor particularly. For staying up that long and making it to 5th. That's really a legendary performance with a stacked lobby like this.
And this is all about points now, right? Obviously, you're talking about global points. You want to be jumping yourselves up there. The finals are coming up just this weekend. Now is the time to shine. So if some of these teams can really throw in a big performance, it would be perfect for them. Of course, FaZe, they're way out the top of the table, so they don't care that they just won 12th place. I don't think they're going to be too happy with the fact that they had a battle with TSM. TSM themselves are probably going to be thinking, how did that go wrong? Because we were doing so well.
I don't think anybody knows that went wrong, to be honest with you. Such a random moment that happened there. Yeah, there you go. It was a pretty good circle here and a pretty enjoyable way to start off tonight's matches, of course, D-Man. But we got 3 more to go, right?
Yeah, 3 more to go. I would say volatile circle. I think it took some big shifts, but
so
3 more to go tonight, and let's get it on. Let's not delay you guys. We want to get the games on. Skyline wants to get himself in the server, so we'll be back in a few, guys. Do not go anywhere.